for both of you, so you know this isn't your first visit. So how many times have you visited Korea?
This is probably my 5th or 6th, maybe, I don't know, maybe 7 times I've been here.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times in the past 5 years.
I think I'm on, I think this is trip number 4 for me.
Oh.
3 or 4. I think it is 4 though.
So it was all business trip, right? No personal vacation?
Strictly business.
So, I mean, we had lunch in Itaewon, so and we took a video of it. So, how was your lunch?
Lunch was amazing.
Huh?
They do pizza very well.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Usually it's some stuff doesn't translate over, but they got the pizza dialed.
Yep, absolutely.
That's good to hear. Jerry, is there a plan for a new product in the JH Audio?
Yes, there absolutely is. We've got a new product that's coming out late spring, midsummer, and it's a new way of doing in-ear monitors, and I think that this is a way that in-ear monitors and headphones will be done from this point forward. So I'm putting all my competitors on notice. Here we go. All right, so first of all, we'll start with the earpiece side. We're doing 2 different versions of this. We're doing the universal, co-branded with Estelle Kern, and then we're also going to do a custom version. And it's a tribrid. So basically that's a balanced armature, dual balanced armature lows. It's a dual dynamic mid and a quad electrostatic high frequencies. The top end and extension goes out past 40K. And then the other thing, that's the only way that we can make this work, keep it in time and phase and get enough gain out of the electrostatics, is by the 3-way, the triamp DSP processor that's in line on the cable. So this passes audio at 192K resolution, puts everything in perfect time and phase, and gives me the tools to make a perfect sounding earpiece. So the other thing that's going to that happens is we also have an application that'll be used on your iPhone or your Droid, and the end user will be able to actually control the output of the low, mid, and high frequency amps. So I'm going to try to make it as perfect as possible, and then they'll have the ability via app to shape the sound the way that they like it.
Yeah, so the end user will be able to tailor it to their sound signature that they prefer.
That's excellent. So, and a lot of our customers and users had this question. So the Layla and the Roxanne are both 12-driver earphones. So a lot of our customers were wondering, what is the difference between the two, and what are the sound characteristic difference between the 2 earphone models?
It's pretty simple. The Roxanne is made for live performance. It's like a big rock PA. Has a lot of headroom. It's very robust, and actually is very, very good for live performance. It's actually the touring industry standard mostly around the world. We have about 90% of the touring market, and I would say 80% of the touring market is on Roxanne. Now the Layla is a similar configuration with different components, but it's basically tuned to be a mastering earpiece, and it's as pure as a passive crossover can be. So it's more for doing mastering, and then the Roxanne is more for live performance or anybody that wants a big rock and roll sound.
Some of our Korean customers and users were sort of disappointed with the second generation of 555 because the sound characteristics has changed since the first generation. So, well, is there a reason for this ever happening?
Yeah, because the first 555 was actually out of phase in the mid-range. So I put the speakers in phase, which changed the crossover point characteristic a touch. But actually, it's more accurate than the first 555. Just everyone's used to the phase cancellation that was in the first the Tri-Fi, and the second one is actually the way that the first one should have sounded.
Okay, so there was nothing wrong with the second generation, but it's actually better, right?
It's improved.
Yeah, I actually prefer the second generation much more. I think the drivers are updated. It's there's not a whole lot changing in driver technology, but the balanced armatures are much newer, and we have a lot more sophistication, I think, in the new generation.
And we also use freak phase, so we put the drivers in time, which we didn't do that in 2005 or 6 when I designed the first one.
So we received the information that the second generation of universal earphones are going to be released. Yes, but we're wondering, is there going to be a second generation of custom in-ears also?
Well, first of all, from this point on, Estelle Kern will be, it'll be a co-brand between Estelle Kern and JH Audio for all the universal fit earphones. And yes, there will be more models coming out. And also, the second generation of customs, and actually all the universals from this point on, will all be DSP controlled. So the in-ear market is totally to the end of the game with speaker innovation. I think I've basically personally created every configuration possible. Now we have to use DSP to actually get more out of less. So we won't be using 12 drivers anymore. We might, but we don't need 12 drivers because we can make fewer components sound much better and make a much smaller earpiece and give a performance that's, you know, absolutely. I would say that every earphone on the planet that's passively controlled is about 60%, 65% of what it could be. With the DSP, we make it 100% of what it could be. So you're going to hear a huge difference that it's impossible to manufacture with a passive crossover. So it's going to be like going from regular television to high resolution television. You won't be able to go back.
We'll be looking forward to that.
See you in summer.
Okay, so we were also wondering what is the most popular model that is the most sales, it's most popular globally?
I think without a doubt our most popular model is the Roxanne. We are very custom focused, and we're also very performance focused. And like Jerry said, I think probably 80% of all of our sales are custom are Roxanne.
Right.
The second close is probably our 13V2. It's pretty close.
Followed by Layla.
Yep.
Layla and Roxanne. Okay. So the next question is, if there is in your mind your most biggest and largest competitor, you don't have to tell us who they are if you but what do you think is the strong point of JHODIO Audio over the competition you think? Did you get the question right?
Yeah,
I'll tell you honestly what it is that, we've been innovating since 1995, and there's nothing that any other company, this is going to sound very pompous, but I'm going to be very truthful, there's nothing that any other company that's manufacturing in-ears has brought to the table that I basically didn't bring to the table first. So I think that we are the innovator, and everyone else does a very good job, but it's gotten to be so noisy that it's just a lot of Me Too people throwing drivers in shells. You'll see we innovate, and you're going to see we're going to change the marketplace.
Yeah, I think Jerry definitely touched on that. It's we're not going to be a company that puts out a new product every 6 months. Professionals don't want that. They want consistency. And as an innovative company, we're breaking the ground first on almost everything. So that takes longer for us to do. But I think that's why we're respected by all of our competitors, because we are pushing the limits.
And there are some very fine other companies out there, but as far as innovation, we haven't really seen much innovation in the past 3 or 4 years.
Okay, so JHODIO and SoundKit has been partner for a couple of years now.
Long time, more than a couple.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about our partnership?
Sean, you want to?
You guys have been great. I mean, I think the Korean market has been awesome for us, and SoundCat is definitely a major contributor to why our brand is so strong. And I think with we just want to make sure we keep that going and be as supportive for you guys as possible.
This is the last question. Well, I wouldn't say this is a question, but the last part. Okay, so there are lots. There aren't a lot, but we do have Korean audiophiles and manias who are really into earphones, and all these stuff. And to them, Jerry Harvey is literally a god,
That's a bit strong.
Yes, but it really, you really are. You are like the godfather of all earphones. So, I mean, those people are gonna be watching this video. So, do you have anything you want to say to them?
Well, thank you for being with me for all these years, through Ultimate Ears, through JH Audio, and supporting the product. And I'm very pleased and humbled that the things that I build and that you like the audio quality and you like the sound of them. So it's a very heartfelt thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's real cool that Jerry builds things for himself because he just likes the way it sounds. So I think like he said, he's humble that people just happen to like what he likes. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the last question.
Okay.
So thank you guys for your time.
You're welcome.
Right.